What up guys, this is David with Farm Katie TV. We got another episode at the greenhouses. The most important parts of planting your crop year after year are timing. Now, here in Oklahoma, we have a very unique system being a lot closer to the equator. It's way different than your NorCal grows, Oregon grows. You'll be seeing these 10-foot tall plants, just monsters. Certainly, you can get some beast out here, but if you put it in too early, it's gonna flower. So, when's perfect? When are we looking for? What time of year we wanna go? It's April. I got some in flower, but not without the help of the light depths. So, when's the time of year we're going for? Shooting for May and June for outdoor crops. And for these, we can do them whenever the hell we want. Let's take a look. The biggest benefit to greenhouses is how we change the season. Now, the most important part is that we get the right amount of daylight hours, because in the winter, it's just not enough daylight to keep it growing and really get good quality flowers. Certainly we can veg, stretch them out, even prepare for the spring like this, but these ladies just wanted to flower because we just breached 12 hours a day. An early mistake for a lot of people, especially here in Oklahoma or anywhere in the South with growing, is they put the plants out too early. It feels great outside today. It's a nice 65, it's been 75, 85. You think, oh my God, there's no way these plants wouldn't love it. And they do, they love the temps. What they don't love is the amount of light. You're growing it to get this monstrous tree. And if you put it in that early, she's gonna start flowering, get all weirded out when the summer gets a little longer, and probably not lead to a very fruitful harvest. The key is, in these lower states, drop your plants in outside a little bit later, pushing towards the end of May, start of June. And if you got greenhouses, I would say you're safe to shoot for anywhere from March 15th to April 15th to get them going. The most common questions I get when it comes to timing and it comes to outdoor gardening is, how big should I put the plant? When do I start my seedling? When do I start the clone? The best way to look at it is, how big do you want it to be at the end and how much space do you have? Now, if you're growing, you've got a fence, you're gonna be limited by the height. You don't wanna have it 10 foot, 12 foot, 14 foot tall so your neighbors can see it. Then it's gonna be a lot about putting it in lower and understanding how to prune. So these plants here got a nice wide top, but as you see, we've got a really skinny stalk down here. I'll say it's thick around, but it's just cleanly popsicled up. This is because the plant got really tall, then they topped it and let it branch out. So one of the funny things that'll happen in a grow is, obviously we get a little grass that comes up and we spend our time weeding that every couple of weeks. It's not a daily task because it's not that important. But randomly enough, obviously somebody threw a little seed out of their smoke into the soil pile, because this is what we call a volunteer seedling. This is literally a pot plant that grew entirely on its own. The perfect timing for outdoor grows can be a little tricky. The biggest key is putting them in at the right size. So these guys here have been in these pots for about 3 weeks now. They got topped, they're allowed to branch out a little bit, so we're starting to get some nice side branching. This is the perfect size to go in for your nice outdoor grow. If you plot these out on a 10-foot spacing, you'll finish out with a nice 10-foot tall tree or so, maybe 8 to 10 feet wide. I can't tell you how much weed you get because that's up to you, but you certainly can eclipse over a pound a plant. It's a lot of fun. So these little guys were just transplanted this week. As you can tell, they're starting to get some new growth already. Got nice little shooting tops. We got a few little stragglers that ain't gonna quite make it. That's just part of the game. But when you got some beauties like this, after only a matter of 4 days, I believe, let's see, 5 days in these pots. And you've already got visible roots. That's gonna be one healthy plant. Now, when we're talking greenhouses, when to put them in, these plants here are gonna be a little too small for anything coming soon. It's the middle of April, and it's gonna be a long time before they get to the full size. These cuts are actually for our next round, which is coming 2 months from now. So we wanted these to get much larger than these even. Having a nice 6 or 8 branch structure, mid-height, it's gonna be perfect ready to flip. And that's how we get the weight.